The High Court has rejected a judicial review application by Cliq Energy's management team to stop the company from being liquidated. Cliq, the country's second listed SPAC, had failed to acquire assets before a 3-year deadline last month. It had requested for more time, but that was rejected by the Securities Commission, which is why it sought the judicial review. But the court said it was rejecting the application because Cliq's management had not exhausted its option to ask the SC to revise the decision. Now, without the judicial review, Cliq's management team will not be able to seek an injunction to prevent the company's liquidation. For now, Executive Director Kamarul Baharin said the management team is in discussions to consider their options after meeting with their lawyer. According to The Economist, Malaysia has the second highest percentage of billionaires' wealth coming from cronyism. While Russia tops the ranking, our neighbours, Philippines, Singapore, Indonesia and Thailand follow closely behind us. In a global survey measuring 22 countries, the publication says the crony index is the idea that some industries are prone to something called rent-seeking. It means when owners of an input or production extract more profit than they would get in a competitive market. So cartels, monopolies and lobbying are common ways to extract rents. Vulnerable industries are often those that work closely with the state, such as telco, natural resources, construction and defense. Anyhow, the report didn't contain any metrics or point out specifically what is a crony or non-crony sector. As for Malaysia, critics have allegedly linked cronyism to the New Economic Policy or NEP and affirmative action. Shipping giant MISC posted a 17% jump in first quarter net profit on the back of a 6-fold jump in profit at its petroleum segment. Earnings reached 571 million ringgit compared with 486 million ringgit from a year ago. Revenue, however, shrank 4% to 2.4 billion ringgit. It didn't declare any dividend for the quarter. The Petronas subsidiary said its petroleum segment recorded 221.4 million ringgit in operating profit due to improved freight rates. However, its heavy engineering segment sank into the red with an operating loss of 3.5 million ringgit as most of its offshore projects are nearing completion. Not only that, its offshore segment also chalked up 164.5 million ringgit operating loss due to impairment provisions. MISC said given the bleak outlook of the upstream oil and gas industry due to prolonged weak oil prices, prospects of the heavy engineering segment will remain very challenging. Ride-hailing startup Grab is being sued in Singapore by a former chief technology officer. According to the Straits Times, Wei Ju had worked at the company between August 2014 and July 2015. He claims that Grab had offered him 2.3 million Singapore dollars in shares under his departure terms. But he didn't take up the offer as Grab had also imposed some restrictions which he claims were not indicated in his original employment terms. Grab, however, argues that the issue of shares is subject to the rules of the firm's shares option plan. According to CB Insights, Grab was valued at 1.5 billion USD in December 2014. It was founded in Malaysia in 2011. If money miraculously appear in your account, you should think twice before spending it. Take it from 21-year-old student Christine Lee, who allegedly spent 14 million ringgit mistakenly given to her by Australian bank Westpac in the form of an overdraft facility. She has been charged in Australian court with dishonestly obtaining financial advantage by deception and knowingly dealing with proceeds of a crime. But Lee's lawyer argued that she hadn't broken the law, as the money was in fact given to her by overly generous Westpac. The magistrate in case seemed to agree, granting her bail. However, the prosecutor had argued against it as she had applied for an emergency passport back to Malaysia weeks after a warrant of arrest had been issued. Lee had allegedly spent a quarter of the money on handbags and luxury items. She is due back in court on June 21st.